May I introduce myself? My name is Kolchak of the Daily Chronicle.
Kolchak reports the bizarre, the supernatural, the unexplainable.
You again is another crazy story.
This nut thinks he is a vampire.
You know what I call that? Irresponsible yellow journalism.
He has killed 4, maybe 5 women. I saw that so-called super killer wipe up the streets with your so-called police force.
They don't want any help from amateur bloodhounds like you.
I've been a reporter for 22 years.
I've been a police officer for 30.
Well, then why don't you retire?
Each man in the field is issued one of these.
What's up, Blue Root Nation? It's your boy Jonathan, and welcome back to Nostalgia 100. It's been a while. It's been so long that the world has ended and started. I don't know. How you guys doing? So today, I want to talk about a movie that I heard about a while ago and never saw. But I kept hearing people talk about it on a bunch of different stuff. It was called The Night Stalker. Now, it has nothing to do with the serial killer. But oddly enough, it does have to do with a serial killer, but not the Night Stalker. But, and I more heard about a TV show called Kolchak, the Night Stalker. And then I discovered that there were 2 movies that predated, but they're like made-for-TV movies. And so this first one, so I finally watched the first one. It came out in 1972. It's just called The Night Stalker. And it's genius. So it's about this reporter, right? Named Kolchak, played by Darren McGivern, who, there's a series of murders, and he starts investigating it. And you already, like right off the bat, they set up, because, you know, back then in the olden days, before now, they would actually set up characters before just throwing you into the movie, and like, oh, figure it out as you go. So early in the movie, they start setting up who this guy is, and he's a reporter who once upon a time was a big shot. Through one thing or another, he kind of fell out of favor, and then he started bouncing around the major cities. Like, he'd be in Dallas, he'd be in New York, he'd be in San Francisco, trying to get work, and he ended up in Las Vegas, where there's a series of murders, but they don't make sense. The bodies were drained of blood, the bodies were impossible places to get to, all these things that just don't make sense. And he slowly starts to put together like this crazy theory of, well, what if the serial killer is a vampire? And no one in town wants to believe him. Everyone in town thinks he's nuts, his editor thinks he's nuts, the police are telling him he can't print anything. But more and more it starts to look like he's right. Even when the police are like, and the police straight up silence what he can and can't tell the press. It's crazy. And so, you know, finally he decides, you know, it's a vampire and I have to do something. And so he gets a stake and he goes at it. And he legitly saves this dude's life and stops it. And everybody knows that he's right. That it was a vampire. And yet, at the end of the day, you know, he writes his paper and he puts it out in the press, and he puts it in his paper, and he writes his article and he puts it in the paper, and he's like, I've been vindicated, you know, I was right, everybody now knows I'm right, the serial killer's off the street, everything is good. And then he gets called into the mayor's office, and then this is why I love this movie, because the ending is just so, like, goddamn, you thought you had a happy ending, and then they pull the rug out from under you. They call him into the office and they charge him with murder. And then they give him another article and said, this is what was published instead of the one you put out. If you ever repeat what really happened, we'll activate this warrant. Now get the hell out of Las Vegas. And they kick him out of Las Vegas. He gets fired from his job and kicked out and framed for a murder. All because he was right and he saved the day. That is a genius story, and it was so well executed. For a made-for-TV movie from 1972, it's brilliant, man. You really got to check it out. So like I said, it's called that's the TV show. The TV show is called Kolchak the Night Stalker. The sequel is called The Night Strangler, but the original one, movie I'm talking about, is called The Night Strangler. It's a 1972 made-for-TV movie, and I really think you guys would like it. But anyway, so this was Nostalgia 100. Till next time, I'm Jonathan. Give us legends.